kugawidwa mosakondera wina aliyense ndi kumenyera ufulu wa anthu okhudzidwa ndi ntchito za migodi. Ndi chifukwa chake bungweli likuyitana amayi achinyamata, anthu aulumali, mabungwe omwe si aboma, mafumu, atumiki a Mulungu ogwira ntchito ku khonsolo ya Karonga ndi aliyense wokhudzidwa ndi kayendetsedwe kabwino ka ntchito za migodi zopezeka m'madera a mafumu akuluakulu a Kiyungu, Kilipula ndi Wansambo.
Hello and welcome to our news bulletin, coming to you live from Bishop Neve Media Center, and you're with me, Patrick Pooper. First, the headlines.
Pope Leo XIV announces second edition of a global event welcoming children to Rome. DPP's Gangata officially declared legislator from Tandire Mtsiriza constituency. ECAMA experts push for fiscal discipline and strategic reforms in mid-year budget review. And in international news, authorities in Nigeria confirm students survived days in captivity before finding a chance to flee.
Those were the headlines. Now the news in detail. Pope Leo XIV has announced that the second edition of World Children's Day will take place in Rome from 25 to 27 September 2026. During the Wednesday general audience, the Pope blessed and signed a flag bearing the official logo of the 2026 World Children's Day. Afterwards, a 7-year-old boy from Gaza, Majid Bennett, presented the flag to the Pope, accompanied by Father Enzo Fortunato, President of the Pontifical Committee for World Children's Day. We have a Vatican News report read by Charida Chiranga.
According to a press release from the committee, World Children's Day will be a moment of encounter, prayer and celebration involving children and their families from all over the world. Cardinal Kevin Farrer, Prefect of the Dicastery for Laity, Family and Life, said the Church wishes to continue giving attention to children and families. Cardinal Farrer expressed hope that the second WCD will offer a beautiful opportunity for the Church to show closeness to children and their families, giving them hope and joy. The logo for the 2026 event, featured on the flag presented to the Pope, includes 7 footprints representing the 7 continents. According to the press release, the footprints evoke the simple and authentic gestures of childhood, a sign of the universality and purity of the little ones. Their diverse colors symbolize cultural diversity and form a harmonious whole that seeks to welcome and value differences. The dome of St. Peter's Basilica appears in the logo as a symbolic embrace that welcomes and protects children from all over the world, with a cross recalling the passion and resurrection of Christ. The first World Children's Day, held in 2024, drew around 100,000 children from 101 nations. With the second edition in 2026, the press release noted the Church renews her commitment to listening to and valuing the voices of the little ones, protagonists of a world that longs for peace, welcome, and a future.
Gangata has officially been confirmed as a member of parliament for Mtandire and Mtsiriza constituency after the Malawi Electoral Commission May completed a fresh examination of election materials following a High Court directive. According to Malawi Electoral Commission Chairperson Justice Annabel Mtalimanja, area irregularities involving tempered vote envelopes and conflicting figures at tally centers had initially forced the Commission to nullify the results. Justice Mtarimanja said after the court overturned the decision and ordered NEC to determine the winner using all available materials, the commission conducted a full review of the records. Judith Organ has found a report read by Gift Kalonga.
MEC chairperson Annabel Mtarimanja said the commission examined all retrieved election documents, verified the tally sheets, and reassessed the void votes. The review confirmed corrected totals for all candidates, placing Gangata ahead of his closest competitor, Malawi Congress Party's George Zulu. After adjustments to classified ballots, Gangata emerged with the highest number of valid votes, meeting the legal requirement to be declared the duly elected MP.
Parliamentary and Local Government Elections Act, the Commission resolved that the candidate who has attained the greatest number of valid votes be declared duly elected as Member of Parliament for the Lilongwe seat in Tantri's constituency.
Meanwhile, Lilongwe City Bwaira UTM candidate Helen Chabunya is pressing the Malawi Electoral Commission to release the by-election calendar, noting that the constituency has gone too long without representation after the September 16th vote was nullified.
So we need a mandate, and the mandate needs to be taken at the polling center. So I want to really understand when we're going to be able to be allowed to start officially our campaign period, and if MEC can quickly set the date of voting, because my constituents are not being represented in the House right now.
The results for the parliamentary election in the Lilongwe City Bwaira constituency were thrown into immediate dispute as 3 of the 4 candidates submitted a joint complaint to the Malawi Electoral Commission MEC demanding the nullification of the outcome. The complaint, dated September 30, 2025, was filed by United Transformation Movement UTM candidate Helen Zarira Chabunya, the Democratic Progressive Party DPP candidate Mike Chinzukira, and the independent candidate Henry Muyawa, contesting the declared victory of Malawi Congress Party NCP candidate Precious Kabambe.
Economic experts have outlined key expectations for the upcoming mid-year budget review, calling for stronger fiscal discipline, credible responsibility, reduction measures, and strategic investment in agriculture, mining, and economic growth sectors to stabilize the country's staggering economy. The remarks come ahead of the presentation of the 2025 to 2026 mid-year budget review by the Minister of Finance, set for Friday 21st November 2025. They came amid growing calls for the restructuring of the national budget. More in our report, filed by Gift Kalonga.
ECAMA President Betha Chikaza stressed that government must demonstrate how it plans to control public expenditure, contain public sector privileges, and implement a realistic debt reduction roadmap beyond rhetoric. Chikaza added that long-term productivity improvements such as mechanization, value chain development, and strong infrastructure are essential if Malawi is to boost the volume and value of its exports. Further emphasized the need for improved revenue mobilization, highlighting that persistent deficits fueled by high borrowing must be addressed by broadening the tax base, reducing leakages, and improving collection efficiency to ensure value for money. According to Chikaza, ECAMA also expects the budget to channel resources into growth-enhancing and structural transformation areas such as infrastructure, energy, agriculture, and mining. She observed that despite being touted as game changer, the mining sector continues to receive inadequate funding, limiting its potential to drive economic transformation.
We want to see a strong focus on fiscal discipline and debt sustainability. This comes about because we want to see government to clearly demonstrate how the budget addresses the high debt burden, and we also want to see how these measures to control recurrent expenditures are going to be implemented, measures to reduce waste, but also contain public sector privileges.
Economic expert Hape Chirwa said the budget review must reflect the realities of new administration, noting that the current budget was drafted by previous government and may not align with the present administration's agenda. He argued that restructuring is necessary to integrate new philosophies and priorities that can guide effective public finance management. Chirwa added that the review should assess what the previous budget achieved and what failed to achieve, and address urgent issues such as forex shortages, inflation, rising commodity prices, and the impact of fuel scarcity. He said focusing on production in the manufacturing and mining sectors will be crucial for economic recovery.
No, my stand and not only personal view, but the general expectation that to manage properly the economy of our country, or the management of the economy of our country and the public finance and all other things are done by the government. And in Malawi, that government is led by a political party.
Minister of Finance Joseph Mwanamveka is expected to present the mid-year budget review in the Parliament on Friday, 21st November 2025. For Luntha News, this is Gift Kalonga.
The government of Malawi has finalized the outstanding payments of the procurement of 200,000 metric tons of maize from Zambia. According to Minister of Agriculture, Irrigation and Water Development Loza Fachibilizi, the remaining funds were fully settled on Wednesday, paving the way for the maize consignment to be delivered to Malawi. Falit Kizombe has filed a report read in our studios by Gideon Kachala.
Bilizi explained that while the country waits for the Zambian maize to arrive, the government is currently disputing maize from existing national reserves to affected communities. She also emphasized that the maize purchased from Zambia is expected to arrive in the country before the end of December this year. The minister further noted that more than 4 million Malawians have been classified as food insecure and are expected to benefit from this initiative.
But if you look at the number, it's 4 million in this whole country, and those are the most vulnerable. I don't know what most vulnerable would mean to all of us, but I feel that at 4 million, we really need to be fair to those that are most vulnerable and make sure that those are the ones that benefit.
Bilizi added that once Zambian maize arrives, the government will restore the maize that was drawn from the national reserves. In recent days, social media has been flooded with claims that Zambia cancelled the maize deal with Malawi due to unsettled balance. However, Bilizi dismissed those statements as a mere propaganda.
Mulanje North parliamentarian Gilbert Konyongwa is the new chairperson of the Legal Affairs Committee of Parliament. This follows his victory in the committee's election on Thursday with Gift Nankuni as the deputy. Speaking to Luntha television, Konyongwa has promised to prioritize Malawians in scrutinizing legislations. Budget Finance Committee of Parliament will be chaired by Sosten Gwengwe, while Felix Njawala will be chairing Public Appointments Committee, and Tiaone Henry is the new chair of the Natural Resources and Climate Committee of Parliament. Konyongwa explains.
For this time around, expect a very thorough and diligent work from the team. It's a team of diverse backgrounds. We've got lawyers, we've got economists, we've got businessmen, seasoned politicians. So it's a diverse composition, and from this expect that we will be very thorough and diligent on whatever piece of legislation that will come through the committee.
In case you are just joining us, remember you are watching news on Luntha television. Now a reminder of the top stories.
Pope Leo XIV announces second edition of a global event welcoming children to Rome. DPP's Gangata officially declared legislator from Tandire Mtsiriza constituency. ECAMA experts push for fiscal discipline and strategic reforms in mid-year budget review. And in international news, authorities in Nigeria confirm students survived days in captivity before finding a chance to flee.
Welcome back. The Ugandan High Commission has expressed commitment towards strengthening trade relations with the Malawian government. Marking the remarks upon arrival at Kamuzu International Airport in Lilongwe ahead of the business summit, His Excellency retired Colonel Fred Mwasije, Uganda's ambassador to Malawi, noted that the visit is an important step towards enhancing cooperation between the two countries, noting that both the nations stand to benefit from the summit. Emmanuel Chocha has further report read by Tanduem Zumara.
Speaking to Luntha television, the ambassadors said they were delighted to participate in the summit, adding that the event presents an opportunity to strengthen bilateral relations between Uganda and Malawi. He emphasized the importance of African countries fostering strong partnerships, noting that such engagements are essential for building long-lasting relationships in trade and development. Ambassador Mwasije highlighted Uganda's strengths in the agriculture and construction sectors, saying Malawi can benefit from Uganda's expertise and products in these areas.
Our main mission as Uganda High Commission in Malawi is to strengthen the bilateral relation between our two countries, to strengthen trade between the two countries, because we believe that once people to people start trading together, then we shall eventually enhance integration.
However, he pointed out that high transport costs remain a major challenge in trade between the two countries. He expressed optimism that the introduction of Malawi Airlines flights from Kamuzu International Airport to Entebbe International Airport in Uganda will ease movement, boost trade, and create new business opportunities. Uganda's commitment to working closely with Malawi to promote mutually beneficial trade and strengthening economic cooperation across the region.
Malawi Airlines has reaffirmed its commitment to making travel across Africa easier and more comfortable. According to Malawi Airlines Chief Executive Officer Solomon Bekere Dupey, the airlines understand the importance of making travel accessible for passengers. Dupey made the remarks following a meeting on Thursday with Ugandan Ambassador retired Colonel Fred Mwasije, as the airline prepares to launch a new route from Lilongwe's Kamuzu International Airport to Entebbe International Airport in Uganda on the 15th of December. Emmanuel Chocha has further report read by Tanduem Zumara.
Describing the meeting with Ambassador Mwasije as successful, Dupey assured travelers that Malawi Airlines is committed to consistency, reliability, and quality service. Dupey emphasized that the airline has the necessary aircraft and trained staff to operate the new route efficiently, ensuring a seamless travel experience.
Countries and beyond. So, as you know, today there is no direct flight between Malawi and Uganda. So it's not easy to travel between the two cities. So Malawi Airlines is intending to fill that gap and make it more convenient for travelers to both in Malawi, Lilongwe, and in Uganda to have an easy travel option between the two countries. So,
Ugandan Ambassador, retired Colonel Mwasije, commended both Malawi Airlines and the Ugandan team for making the initiative possible. Mwasije added that improved connectivity will strengthen bilateral relations, boost trade, and create more opportunities for the collaboration across various sectors in Malawi and Uganda.
Is the business people, because now we have come to promote business between Uganda and Malawi. So there will be many business people coming from Malawi to come and procure goods, industrial goods, agricultural goods from Uganda. Likewise, there will be many Ugandans coming to look at the market here, what they can buy from here. To third, there will be the pilgrims who come to Namugongo. There have been every June, 3rd June, people have been coming, hiring buses and whatnot. So these people will be going.
The launch of the Lilongwe-Entebbe direct route marks a significant milestone for both Malawi Airlines and the region. As the airline prepares for takeoff on December 15th, travelers from both countries can look forward for faster. As the airline prepares for takeoff on December 15th, travelers from both countries can look forward to faster, more convenient, and more reliable travel that promises broader economic and social benefits.
The Malawi Council for Disability Affairs, Makoda, has expressed concern that the absence of a clear and systematic reporting mechanisms for disability rights violations continues to undermine effective implementation of laws meant to safeguard the rights of persons with disabilities in the country. Speaking in Lilongwe during a press briefing ahead of the Makoda Flag Week, which begins Friday 21st November 2025, the Council's Director General George Usiwa said the gaps in reporting structures are slowing progress in promoting and protecting the rights of marginalized groups. Tandiwe Mzumara has filed a report read by Emmanuel Chocha.
Usiwa says this year's Flag Week, held under the theme Championing Disability Rights through Reporting and Action, will focus on tracking systematic institutional and structural barriers. This includes challenges around accessibility policy gaps and weaknesses in service delivery. Usiwa added that the 2025 Makoda Flag Week aims to achieve several objectives, including raising public awareness about the rights of persons with disability, enhancing access to information, and strengthen mechanisms for reporting rights violation.
Various stakeholders, duty bearers, including government agencies, the private sector, civil society organizations, including media practitioners, should ensure that when we are talking about inclusive development in the country, we are looking at addressing the human rights challenges that persons with disabilities are facing. And addressing these challenges and human rights violations should be in the form of enhancing reporting mechanisms with reporting systems. But beyond that, we are also looking at how effective are the measures that we are putting up addressing the violations of rights of persons with disabilities are effective.
Vice President Jenny Ansah is scheduled to officially launch the 2025 Makoda Flag Week on Friday at the Parliament Building, where she will also receive the first ceremonial flag. For Luntha News in Lilongwe, this is Emmanuel Georgia.
And finally, in international news, 2 girls who were among at least 25 children and a teacher kidnapped from their boarding schools in the northwestern Nigerian Kebbi state on Monday have managed to escape, a local official told the BBC. The pair ran away as their armed captors were leading them into the bushes and got away across farmlands, Hussein Aliyu of Danko Wasagu Council said. He added that the girls were back and are safe, but one of them needed medical treatment as she had held her leg while fleeing. We have a BBC News report read by Charlie Dechiranga.
The assault left 2 members of staff dead. A teacher was killed while trying to protect girls, and a security guard later died in hospital from gunshot wounds. A team of soldiers, police, and volunteers are combing forested areas in an attempt to rescue the captives seized by the gunmen. Over the past decade, schools in northern Nigeria have become frequent targets for armed groups. who often carry out abductions to seek ransom payments or leverage deals with the government. Police say the gunmen, described locally as bandits, invaded the government girls' comprehensive secondary school in Maga town at about 4 hours, 3 hours GMT on Monday. One inconsolable father, whose daughter is still being held captive, told BBC Hausa that his family had been crying non-stop and it's hard to go back home and look at their faces. He said he had 2 daughters enrolled at the school, one of whom had successfully hid from the attackers, but the other had not been so lucky. He added that he had heard of abductions after the Muslim early morning prayer on Monday and had rushed to the school and been there ever since. Police say the attackers engaged police personnel on duty in a gun duel before climbing over the perimeter fence and taking the girls from their hostel. She said she had been unable to eat or sleep ever since. The attack highlights the persistent security crisis plaguing the region, leaving families in a state of fear.
With the BBC News report read by Charide Chilanga also brings us to the end of our today's bulletin. But before I go, let's have another look at the headlines.
Pope Leo XIV announces second edition of a global event welcoming children to Rome. DPP's Gangata officially declared legislator from Tandire Mtsiriza constituency. ECAMA experts push for fiscal discipline and strategic reforms in mid-year budget review. And in international news, authorities in Nigeria confirm students survived days in captivity before finding a chance to flee.
Thanks for the pleasure of your company and continue watching Luntha television. Goodbye.